Hey guys, what's up? It's Steve. It is Saturday night, March 7th, 2015. This is gonna be a rant about fine dining restaurants. You know, fine dining restaurants. Yeah, fine dining restaurant. What a fine dining restaurant is it's a restaurant, but it's more fancier and nicer looking and romantic and overpriced, way too overpriced than a regular restaurant. Like at a fine dining restaurant, they have white tablecloth with wine glasses and everyone's all dressed up and shit. It's really nice look. It's really clean in there, and everyone's just dressed up. Even the waiters and shit. When they serve to you, he's dressed up in a bow tie or whatever, and serves to you and takes off that bell-shaped cap. Bon appetit! And shit. And it's just way too overpriced. That's the main thing one of the main things that bothers me. It's way too overpriced at a fine dining restaurant. Okay, in school and shit, in my CES class, we're doing a project about fine dining restaurants, and what we had to do, yesterday we had to research, go on Google and search up some fine dining restaurants near our area, our local fine dining restaurants and shit. And we had to look at the menu. And oh my god, are they overpriced! I saw on one of the menus at a couple of the restaurants, and I literally saw $100 for a fucking steak. $100 for a fucking steak. Oh my god. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? $100 for fucking steak? I could just go to Jewel Osco and get a steak, buy a steak at Jewel Osco for the price of $5 or $10 and cook it myself at home, you know, just defrost the meat. If it isn't defrosted, then put some tin foil on the oven pan, put the meat on, season it, put some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and Montreal steak or Chicago steak, flip it, do the same thing, put it in the oven, check it once so often, and when it looks cooked on one side, flip it, do the same thing, and when it's done, just take it out and then eat it. Put some sauce on it if you want. I don't put steak sauce on mine, but I could just do that instead of paying $100 at a fine dining restaurant to eat steak there. You know, what the hell? Seriously, why is it... And the desserts are expensive too. I literally saw in this one restaurant on the dessert menu, $50 for one little slice of cake. One little slice of chocolate cake is $50. Are you fucking kidding me? Just for one little small slice? God, why are the foods so expensive? It's not an iPhone or an iPod or a TV or a laptop or an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One or digital camera, if I said that. Or I don't know. It's not that. It's fucking food. It's something that we need to survive and shit. $100 for a fucking steak. Are you kidding me? Seriously, that's way too expensive. It's fucking food. I can just go to McDonald's or Burger King or White Castle or Wendy's or Taco Bell or, I don't know, Chick-fil-A or Carl's Jr. and get food there for dinner. Get dinner there for under $5. You know, seriously. You know, people go to fine dining restaurants on a date usually. Usually they go to fine dining restaurants for a date. You know, a guy, they want to take a girl out to dinner, goes to a fine dining restaurant just so he can really impress her. He can be romantic and shit. And, you know, you both get steak and shit, you know, let's just say steak costs $100. It's not always $100. It could be $80 or $90, but sometimes they're $100, and let's just say it's $100. You both get steak. 100 plus 100 equals 200. You're paying $200 total for a steak. What the hell? $200. You don't got that money. You know, you have to save up. You have to open up a savings account. You have to save up money just to go to a fine dining restaurant. I don't get it. Why is food that expensive? It shouldn't be that expensive. Food should be cheap. Doesn't matter what the restaurant is. It could be the nicest restaurant, the most fanciest restaurant ever. It still shouldn't be expensive. It should be $5 or less. Food in general. At grocery stores, at restaurants, when you buy food, all food should be $5 or less. You know, it's food. It's something we need to survive. It's not a fucking iPhone or that shit, like I said early in the video when I talked about that. But really, why is food at fine dining restaurants expensive? Why? Seriously. What if the food is nasty? You know, you go to a fine dining restaurant, it's $100, you have to pay $100 for food, and what if you pay for food and $100 and then you get the food, you take a bite and it tastes nasty. It tastes like diarrhea mixed with moldy cheese with 1-year-old milk that's like has expired 1 year ago. What if it tastes like that? You don't want to eat it. You don't want to eat any more of it. If something's nasty, you don't want to eat it. You just want to throw it away or give it to someone else who would eat it. And that's not always the case. It's a waste of money. Waste of $100. You just paid $100 on something really nasty and disgusting that tastes like diarrhea and shit. You can't get that money back. You just basically threw some money away. You just wasted $100. You know, seriously. Or $200 with your date. If she doesn't like it either, then it's a waste of $200. If she likes it and you don't like it, it's a waste of $100. Is, you know what I mean, that shit. But you know, if you don't like it, you don't want to eat it no more, it's basically a waste of money. You just wasted your money. That money could have been for something else. You know, if you go on a date and shit, you don't necessarily always have to go to a fine dining restaurant. You know, if you don't have the money, then, you know, go somewhere cheaper. Go to, like, a regular restaurant or go to a fast food restaurant. There's nothing wrong with going to a fast food restaurant on a date. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You're cheap. Well, if you don't have the money, then you know, not everybody can afford that. I'm serious. Or if you really want to impress your date, why don't you stay home and cook? You just gotta learn how to cook. Girls actually like it when guys cook. So if you cook dinner at home on a date, that's actually a turn on to girls. They actually like that. Girls like it when guys cook. And even if your food is nasty, if your date doesn't like your cooking, at least you tried. She'll probably be in your bed in no time and shit. Seriously, my uncle told me that. My Uncle Joe told me that. But really, do that. You know, we don't always have to go to a fine dining restaurant. And, you know, but seriously, $100 for steak and shit. And for fine dining food, God, it's food. It's food that's going to be coming out of your ass into the toilet the next day. Seriously, it's not electronics or shit. It's just everything's so expensive. I don't get it. And there's even dress codes at fine dining restaurants. At a fine dining restaurant, you have to wear, I mean, not all of them, but at majority of them, there's a dress code. Like, you usually have to wear a dress shirt and tie and a tuxedo. You know, that Mr. Rogers neighborhood shit. You know what Mr. Rogers wears, that dress shirt and tie and shit. And you know what people wear? They wear that the weddings and funerals, and those business people wear that. And when the president wears that shit, suit and a tie. I don't want to wear that. I don't fucking want to. I don't like wearing that. I don't like wearing that. Seriously, I don't like wearing that. I want to wear what I want. Why can't I just wear a sweatshirt, what I'm wearing right now, or sweatpants, a t-shirt, pair of shorts, gym shoes, a baseball hat, a NHL hockey jersey? Why can't I just wear that? Why do we gotta wear that stupid business suits? It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Let us wear what we want. It's better than being naked and shit. You know, seriously. Stop being strict on what we wear, stupid. Yeah, look nice. It's a nice restaurant, so you have to look nice as well. Bullshit. Let us wear what we want. You know, seriously. You know, seriously. And the music they usually play romantic music at fine dining places, like stupid piano music, like you know that piano music? They play piano music and jazz music? I don't want to listen to that. We don't want to listen to that shit. We want to put on some fucking AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or Motley Crue and Journey. Put that music on. Don't play that piano music. It's boring. Music sucks. I don't like that music. You know, just fine dining places are so expensive. You have to... You know, we can't afford that. You have to save up. Only millionaires and shit can afford that. Because the food is just so expensive. You know, it's bad enough we can't... It's bad enough... The money we get, we have to use it on... We have to pay for rent and utility bills like water bill, electric bill, Comcast bill, heating bill, cell phone bill, all those bills, etc., etc. You know, in groceries, you have to pay groceries every week. You know, bad enough you can't get that much money for yourself, and you can't afford it. You can't afford. So expensive. Make it cheaper. Fucking food should be cheap. $5 or less, in my opinion. Food shouldn't be that expensive. It should be $5 or less. But, and I'm not saying I'd never go to a fine dining restaurant and take my date out there. I mean, maybe, but I just gotta really save up just to go to one. You know, seriously. You know, I mean, they look nice and shit. The restaurant looks really nice and fancy, but it's just so expensive, which is the worst thing about it. And I don't really like eating at restaurants in general. I'm not saying I don't like restaurant food. I usually like maybe go to a restaurant, order my food to go. I usually like to order to go and shit. You know, just order and take it on the go. I don't really like to eat there and stare at other people what they're eating and people staring at what I'm eating. I just like to go there, order the food I want and take it home with me and eat at home. But other than that, restaurants, fine dining restaurants suck, and this is my opinion. I'm probably the first one to do a rant about this, but yeah, see you later guys, goodbye.